With that said, friends, I think we got the multi-stream running. Everything is up and twerking. Let's go ahead and jump back into Tormented Souls 2. Once again, we did beat this game. This is not a... in fact, I think if I just hit continue, it'll just toss us in. So this is not really, really continuing necessarily so much as it is doing one more victory lap of beating this game and then doing a couple things differently for the ending sequence. Elevator's not working. Oh, do I have to... I probably have to do something, right? Probably have to give it the old... is it this thing? Is it... Oh, God. Do I bang it with a hammer? Oh, wait. Unless this is how we got here. Confession time. It's been a few weeks since I played. Yeah, I think we went this way. I think this leads to the boss. Maybe? Oh, this way? Okay. I think this leads to the big scary guy. So yeah, we've already beaten it. We know how the final boss works. This is not a victory lap just for funsies. We're going to fight this guy. It's going to be easy peasy. And then we will, like I said, do a couple things differently with the ending sequence. See what the true ending has in store, and then jump on over to the sequel. Start the sequel. See what that awaits. That entails, rather. Yeah, we're going the right way. There we go. Yeah, I think I love the original. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Irasi. I mean, I enjoyed Silent Hill. That game was tough. That game was tough. I'm gonna go ahead and skip this because we've already seen it before.
So you...
This is...
Let's kind of skip through all this. Yeah. Yeah, Silent Hill was definitely a tough one. I don't know how difficult RE2 is, or RE original is compared to compared to... Oh, I'm already injured. Look at that. And it's already loud, just as I remember it was. Yeah, I don't know how difficult it would, like, those old games are compared to the likes... Can I aim at you? To the likes of Silent Hill 1, which I thought was a pretty tough-ass game. This game wasn't that brutal, honestly. 5, 6. Yeah, 6 shots to drop them. I remember watching a really cool video. I'm a big fan of Stop Skeletons from Fighting. I remember watching one of Derek's videos that kind of went into the I gotta press the button right. Oh, I fucked it. That didn't take long. Fuck it once, you gotta do the whole sequence again. Ouch. Trying to reload. Okay, I guess I reloaded. Oh, also. Nope. Can I get that ammo? I see it. There we go. Not that I will necessarily need. I might need more nail gun ammo. But anyway, just to kind of finish the thought. Yeah, I watched a good video that's kind of a cool deep dive on the differences between the original Resident Evil. And I don't just mean the original versus the remake, but I mean the PS2 retail release and the PS2, or not PS2, PS1 retail release that like first dropped, and then the Director's Cut edition. Oh my fucking God. And the various ports to various other consoles. And like the Japanese version of the original retail, and the Japanese version of the remake, of the Director's Cut, all that jazz. So anyway, what I'm getting at is that I learned after the fact that, so Resident Evil 1 is known for being a pretty tough-ass game. But that's mostly for American audiences. The Japanese version was apparently a lot easier because the Japanese version had, like, aim assist. And the original, and in the American release for RE1 had 0 aim assist. So it meant encounters were, like, especially brutal. Grab this ammo real quick. Especially brutal and especially unforgiving. And that, I think after a certain point, they started to, like the American versions of those games started to at least be launched with that as an option, which is nice. But yeah, like, I think the original Resident Evil has this reputation for just being impossibly brutal. And I think it was, I think it was probably, like, not necessarily the case for everybody. Guy's like, he just does not miss. Motherfucker just blasting my ass. Of course, again, it's been a minute since I played this game. It's been a week. Actually, probably more like 2.5 weeks since I played. Oh, fuck. I bonked it, dude. I bonked it. Bonk is brutal. Thankfully, I got lots of it. Jesus. Every time I think I'm in the safety zone, it just tickles me. I think it's because he sometimes makes noises, but doesn't shoot. So, like, I'll hear him make the noise, and I'll be like, alright, cool. It's time to move. And then he'll just instantly shoot me. So I think I need to be watching him, though. Get the camera angles. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I tell myself I can handle myself with general jank decently well. Just overall, like, weirdness and jankiness and things that have not aged perfectly. Yeah, that's it. You see that shit? He shot, I dodged, and then he just immediately shoots again. So, like, his rhythm is kind of all over the place. Anyway. Don't fuck it. I'm not gonna fuck it. I'm gonna try not to fuck it, at least. There we go. Skip all that. Reload. At least that's a nice quick reload. Actually, where's that last one? I think it's down this way. Gotta see the little reticle for it. Ah. I think I'm shooting him. Also, the gunshot or the nail gun shots are very, very soft. Yeah, the controls are rough, but the director's cut. So yeah, Chuck probably knows what I'm talking about. Where the lack of aim assist makes that first one just fucking wild and kind of like impossible. Yeah. Because I don't think I need this, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway. Get myself nice and healthy with lots of morphine, lots of happy ass morphine. Yeah, like how Rossi said, there's the fixed camera. Fuck, the fixed camera. Fuck. There's the fixed camera angles, that is. There's, you know, just kind of weird, clunkier controls. And, of course, it was the first one, so, you know, there's the inevitable growing pains you expect when it's the first entry in a series that is already infamous for not always being the most user-friendly and the most forgiving. And I think that's part of why I think Arctic was the one who said really what most people recommend, or maybe I shouldn't say most, but some folks recommend, is don't even bother with the original and just play the remake of the original, which like still maintains a lot of like the charm and like level design and like just the rhythm of the first game, but with some of that, a lot of that roughness smoothed over. The downside is I understand the remake has like normal dialogue. Because I think the issue with the original Resident Evil is that the dialogue was like funny, completely unintentionally, and it was all because of like weird translations. Or, well, translation but not localization. I think that's what happened. I think like the dialogue is weird and kind of clunky. I'm just gonna skip this because we've already seen it. But it's a measure of how. Like, that's what happens when a game is, yeah, has translation but not localization. So, like, the Jill sandwich thing, right? And here's the key, you're the master of unlocking. Those lines being so silly, not really intentionally. So the remake has them, like, normal and properly localized, which is probably better, but also it's not as funny. Let's be real, that's, you know, what's the thing that we're gonna remember more clearly? All right, so speaking of remembering clearly, so like I had said, we're gonna do a couple things differently now, and we're gonna go to see the true ending. There is also a bad ending that we have not seen. There's a bad ending we have not seen, and to be honest, I don't know if I have the heart to do it on stream, because the bad ending, well, I guess I could see when the most recent, where the second most recent save is. But I'm concerned that the bad ending would require we reload the save from, like, before the big puzzle sequence that we ran through. I remember how to get back to the surface. But the big puzzle sequence that we ran through, where we're, like, going up and down, fighting the various levels, and, like, this kind of underground sequence, and there's the guys with hammers, and, like, the pipe sequence, that like, the gas like pipe pressure sequence, like all that stuff. I'm concerned that we would have to go through all of that again. And I don't think I want to do that on stream, so it's like, I don't know. I think what we'll probably just do is show what we're about to show here. Show the, let's see, what's it, this one? Pumping room? I think so. Because, yeah, I think it is kind of railroading us. Like, make sure we only go the right way here. But, I think this is it. Yeah, so we'll show the true ending, then just kind of jump from there, I'm fairly sure. The originals are worth it. It was certainly for Resident Evil 2 and 3. I think definitely original 2, like original Resident Evil 2, and probably also original Resident Evil 3. Because yeah, I think you're exactly right, Arasi. Like certainly for 2 and 3, they're quite different. I think Arctic's thinking was that the original Resident Evil 1, that remake doesn't like make it too different of an experience. I'm just kind of going by hearsay, but that was kind of his thinking, was like the playing through the remake does enough of what the original was getting at, or like to kind of give you the proper idea without kind of making it too modern. Because yeah, like our Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes are so different and are much more modernized experiences. So by the way, for the true ending, for the good ending at least, I guess in all fairness, I don't know what's the canonical ending. All I know is that there are multiple endings and there's a sequel, and there's a decent chance that this relies on the good ending. So it's gonna be which one was it? The chapel was was that the first one? Let's think about this, because we need to go. It would have been the experiment room. I want to say it was the experiment room. Because the place we need to go to enable the good ending is to meet back up with what's-her-face. Meet back up with the girl, Clara, I think was her name? Or Anna. Anna was her name. Meet back up with Anna, who was upset at us because we were like, hey, here's some acid. We're gonna melt the door, these chains slowly. It'll take a couple days. Hope that your candle doesn't run out and you don't fucking die before that happens. And then we said we're gonna piece the fuck out. Here is where we use the bolt cutters. It's gotta be it. What other point would we ever have to use the bolt cutters? It's gotta be here. There we go. So I didn't see the guy do it, but I saw when he walked by the scene, I was like, motherfuck, that's where you use the bolt cutters. So there we go. So we've rescued
Anna.
We've rescued Anna.
You cut the chain. I told you I would get you out of here. Now we need to escape to a safer time.
To a safer time. Also, I like how the dialogue is a little bit different than the captions.
A time? I mean, a place where we are safe.
Not where we are, but when we are.
I don't know if I should trust you. Besides, I have to find Mother. Those men took her.
I understand you want to find her, but those men in hazmat suits will be back if we don't leave right now. We don't have anything to fight them with. It would be better to go to town and get help. Then we can rescue your mother.
I mean, that being said, we do still have the cattle prod and the pipe shotgun, so
Promise we'll be back for my mother.
we do have some things.
I promise, but you must trust me.
Okay.
We're not exiting alone this time. Now let's think about this. In the story's timeline, we know that her mom dies from, you know, an awful disease, and that her husband and his father finds this cure for this disease, but the cure, like when you cure them, they just have like a moment of clarity followed by death. So I think she was first afflicted with the disease just after both of the girls were taken.
What happened here? Everything is completely different. I don't recognize the main hall at all.
Got a bit of a 1,000-yard stare though, doesn't she?
Something strange
Staring off in the
is
distance.
happening. I feel as if I don't belong here. I can't explain it.
I will explain in due time. What's important right now is us getting out of here. Do you?
I think
Oh,
I can
sorry.
trust you.
Didn't we interrupt you there?
You don't need to call me Miss. Just call me Caroline.
Okay, Miss Caroline. I'm sorry. I mean, Caroline.
So polite.
That's better. I know all of this is strange, but I will explain everything.
Yes.
A little time travel-y, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, but it's okay. Oops. Go up and then use it. Chunk. So, now, there we go. That's the difference with the neutral ending and the true ending. Got an achievement and everything. Got the Chivo. Because what happened in the neutral ending...
Anna, I'm aware that my actions were wrong. Once you find out the truth, I hope you can forgive me. Anna.
Actually, I'll confess, I don't know what would be considered wrong in that context. Because, yeah, what happens, in the neutral ending at least, is that, yeah, she gets taken by the scary dudes again, and she hides out for years in that, like, fucking awful, like, rotting place, and she gets turned into that, like, Michelin Man demon that we fought previously, and then, of course, in the neutral ending, we basically put her to rest, but then we go back in time and rescue her to basically, like, change the timeline of events. So, because we're her twin sister, but in this case it's a different timeline, so it's a little bit wobbly. This is one of those games where the storyline is probably best if you don't think too hard about it, because of course it's a horror game and a lot of it is like sci-fi kind of, because there's experimentation, there's disease, there's awful, like, fucked up Nuremberg trials, like levels of like medical experimentation on like mental patients and turn them into like monsters, all for the sake of science and like progress. And it's like a little wobbly, but it's mostly tangible sci-fi horror where it's like it's not like paranormal. But then you get into the time traveling stuff, and you get into if it gets dark and you get consumed by the darkness, then you die. Like, okay, that's obviously paranormal. And the Anna being turned into the Michelin Man demon floaty thing, like that, obviously that's paranormal as hell. So, which I think is kind of what Resident Evil does, kinda. I mean, it's Umbrella Corps or Umbrella Corporation is all about science and ethically questionable experimentation, all that jazz. But there's like sort of supernatural also. Maybe not paranormal, but yeah, kind of supernatural. It's like just a sprinkle on top. Silent Hill, absolutely supernatural, but it's like mostly rooted in. You could see it, like it could happen. You have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but I kind of like that. I don't dislike paranormal. I don't dislike supernatural, but I like something that's it's like grounded in reality plus. It's reality and then some. So it's basically the same rating as last time, obviously. The one thing I didn't know what this meant when we beat the game the first time. I didn't know what this meant. And I looked it up, what is this like saying the number of times I like looked at a picture or the number of times I walked around the statue? Because yeah, there was a statue with like an old school diving helmet. This is not really a cheat code, but kind of a cheat code. It's a very elaborate and specific series of steps to unlock a hidden weapon. And I'm not going to do with it right now. But I'll say, yeah, if you look at this painting, the one where the lady's decapitating the guy in his sleep, look at that painting 3 times and then spin around, I suppose counterclockwise, around the one like statue of the diver's helmet, old school diver's helmet, 5 times. It will reveal to you a bonus like hidden secret weapon that's not all that interest. Like, it's cool, but not like amazing. So I already know what it is. I won't spoil it for if you're curious, but it's there for those who feel so inclined. Yeah, it is a good switch up. Yeah, it's a good switch up. It's just, gun to my head, which do I prefer? I would say probably grounded in reality. To me, that's a little bit more scary. It's easier to get spooked by something where it's like, ooh, I could see how it could happen. Kinda, maybe. Versus like, it's so outside the realm of possibility. I mean, that being said, I do love me some good sci-fi horror. Lord knows I love the shit out of System Shock as a good example of that. So I definitely do. I can see its merits for sure.